Call of Duty Cold War Zombies just got itself a new game mode that really reminds me of that classic zombies feel, but it's set in an open world. I believe this mode is called Outbreak Survival, and from what I've played, I think it's pretty good actually, especially for those people that are tired of normal Outbreak or may want a bit more of a challenge. I think that this definitely provides one, and it gives zombies that fun difficulty curve that I think has always been a staple in the series. So first, let's talk about what this game mode actually is. Outbreak Survival is essentially just zombies hardcore mode. It takes the Outbreak formula and merges it with classic zombies, and this is done by having no minimap and only starting with a 1911 pistol, which instantly puts you in a more vulnerable state than as you would be spawning in with a loadout just super ready to take on anything. And you can't use weapon blueprints, and because you only spawn in with the 1911 and you can't just make said 1911 a really OP pistol with all of your attachments on it, it takes away all of your bells and whistles. Not being able to just pimp out your 1911 and make it really good, or any other weapon that you get for that matter, I just think it really incentivizes using the wall weapons as well as the box, because one of my biggest issues with Cold War that has been ironed out with this game mode in particular is that I don't think that the box, especially more so than more weapons, but more weapons are still in this group, get used enough. There's no reason to really use them when you can just spawn in with whatever loadout you want. And so this adds a new layer of difficulty for Cold War Zombies, which I'm just really glad to see coming back in some way, shape or form. Oh, and for those of you that love using the minimap, by the way, yeah, you're not allowed to use the normal map either, and this is one of the strangest changes, but something I really have come to appreciate with this mode. And this is because Outbreak, yes, it was a, semi-open world type of thing, but I didn't feel like I was exploring, I just felt like I was running around multiplayer maps, but this is huge. Now granted, the only thing that is marked is the main objective, but that's understandable because if you want to just quickly rush through, then that's totally fine. But in terms of side objectives, there is absolutely nothing marked on the map for you. You can't even use the map, and there's no indicators or icons alluding to anything. So for all you know, you could be walking and exploring the map, you could turn a corner or go on the other side of a building and you could bump into an order, and I love the idea of that. This incentivizes exploration so much more and is much more rewarding when you find a side objective instead of just running around from icon to icon on your map. It actually lets you take time, explore the map, and you really have to work for the extra rewards you get from the objectives. This for me has to be one of the best features there with no map, and especially for first time players, this must feel amazing. Say for example, you didn't previously play normal Outbreak and you decided to go into Outbreak Survival. For the first time, uncovering something like an order must be absolutely insane, because with people who are pretty well versed in Outbreak, they know that there is going to be an order on the map most of the time. So when they come across it on their own terms without just following a map marker mindlessly, it must be so scary and exciting at the same time. Remember when back in Black Ops 1 or something, for example, or World at War, you would launch up one of the bigger maps and you would start exploring it. In a private session, it would feel quite uneasy and you didn't really know what to expect, even though there would be nothing there, but you went looking for something anyway, just to explore the map. Was that just me? I feel like that was probably just me, but regardless, this is like that feeling, except it actually comes to life. You are actually finding things on your own terms, and it makes you feel like you discovered it a lot more, and I just love that feature. If Vanguard Zombies has Outbreak, they should really tap into the exploration open world type of side to Outbreak. I think everyone is looking for that type of thing and would really appreciate it right now. But overall, no minimap and no map is just a really good change. So just keep an eye out for an order. Not that they're hard to miss, but if you accidentally somehow stumble into one and it activates the fight and you're not ready for it, that thing will slap you so hard you'll be banished into the Shadow Realm, so stay sharp. Okay, so you're probably sat there thinking, dude, how on earth is that a hardcore mode? The only things there are starting with a pistol, no weapon blueprints, or no minimap or normal map. How can it be that hard? Well, let me hit you with this one. There is no health regen in Outbreak survival mode. Turns out in another life, these zombies were master chefs, because when they die, sometimes they drop food and sometimes even like fully cooked meals for you to pick up and eat and be able to restore some of your health. And there's actually rarity to the food, so the blue tier food won't restore as much health as obviously a orange tier dish of food would. I think this is a really good change, and it's just kind of goofy seeing some food dropped on the floor. I guess it makes it feel more survivally and a bit more desperate, and it makes you think very carefully when you're fighting bosses or big hordes of zombies, and it makes you make more smarter and careful choices than you would in normal zombies. You can't just grapple hook away now if your health is getting too low. You actually have to kill the zombies in order to get the food, or you can try chests if you manage to escape. I like this change, although my only issue with it is I think that zombies drop food way too much, and I understand why, because there's always a chance that you could be hit. But I think the way it should work is if in round 1 zombies drop the rate of food that they do now, but then as you go further and further into the rounds, it gets harder and harder. Zombies aren't dropping food as frequently, and maybe have it capped out at a certain round so the food still has a somewhat healthy drop rate. I think it would instill that sense of desperation even more, and when you move on to the next objective, you'll have a better idea of what you're getting yourself into. Oh, and there's also no health bars. That's a thing. I suppose this is just meant to be one of those small changes that just throws maybe newer players off a bit more, that are more comfortable with health bars, because I'm not too bothered about them. Same with the minimap. I'll admit it does make it a lot more intense when you don't actually know how many bullets it's going to take to split the megaton or get rid of that Kranzy soldat. And don't worry, I'll give you all some very professional tips from the best zombies esports player in the world here to help make this challenging game mode a little bit easier. Tip 1 is going to be to explore the map. If you know what you're doing and what you're looking for, then you know how worth it some of the rewards are. And if you're a new player, then go and explore anyway, because it's really fun and you'll probably find some pretty good rewards. There's some crazy stuff in Outbreak, so go and uncover that. Tip number 2 is going to be to pack a punch as soon as possible. Do not hesitate doing it because you think your weapon rarity is good enough. Just pack a punch, because this is much harder than normal Outbreak, so getting that head start is going to be very useful. And if you would pack a punch really quick anyway, then well done. Tip number 3, I found that the perk Death Perception is even more useful in a mode like this for very obvious reasons. I'm sure you can probably tell. Being able to see chests through walls and seeing zombies in your area more clearly. If you rely on the minimap a little, or you're about to raid a house, then definitely pick up Death Perception. It's going to be very useful in Outbreak survival. And for the final tip, stim shots are your friends here. As you can imagine, in a game mode with no health regen, the tactical equipment that regenerates your health is going to be pretty useful. Don't go into this thinking that stim shots aren't going to work because of that. They actually do. So grab them when you have the chance. Overall, I think this game mode is pretty good. I just think it needs a few little tweaks and it will make it better. I'm talking more about the health here. I just think food drops a bit too often, and I think they should tweak that some more. And if they're going this direction in COD Vanguard, if they're going to continue Outbreak, then I think a lot of people who originally didn't like Outbreak at first can hop onto this version and maybe have some more fun with it, and overall a more classic zombies experience with a semi-open world twist. But anyways, I'm going to leave this video here today. If you enjoyed, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below on this game mode. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and only a very small percentage of people are even subscribed to the channel, so if you've enjoyed and you've made it this far, subscribe, you won't regret it. I did an Apex video on my channel, so if you like Apex, go watch that video. It's a tier list. I'm going to be making more Apex videos as well, so I hope you enjoy those. Turn on the notification bell too to stay notified whenever I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.